Vladimir Putin gets two new allies as China and Belarus tell Putin, we will back Russia against Ukraine. Biden messed up big time with the Ohio train wreck explosion situation, and it could cost him the 2024 election. Trump brings food, water, and cheer to the people of Ohio, and the IRS announces they will be doing additional audits based off your skin color and your ethnicity. So much to go through today. Thank you so much for liking and sharing these videos. It really helps me out. YouTube has been suppressing my information, and so by sharing it and giving it a like, it does more than you can ever imagine. So thank you so very much. Biden's Transportation Secretary, Pete Buttigieg, has expressed regret for failing to publicly address the disaster in Ohio. During a CBS News interview, Buttigieg was asked if he wished he would have addressed the crisis sooner. He stated, "Yes, I was focused on just making sure our folks on the ground were all set. But I could have spoken sooner about how strongly I felt about this incident, and that's a lesson learned for me." Now, this was a good public apology statement. Hey, I messed up, and there's lessons for me to learn. However, he then went on a different podcast where he mentioned, I don't want to go into detail, but I've been dealing with some personal matters, and so I didn't end up going to Ohio or addressing it with the American people. Well, guess what? An entire town was dealing with personal issues caused by the government and a train wreck and chemical explosions. So he messed up big time, but lesson learned, and he won't let this happen again the next time the government decides to blow up trains with vinyl chloride in them. As Joe Biden travels everywhere but Ohio, former President Donald Trump is traveling to the state with supplies in hands. Today, Trump visited the people of Ohio, and here's what his spokesperson had to say. President Trump is meeting with the citizens of East Palestine, Ohio, and he will never forget them and what they are going through. Contrast that with Biden and the federal government, who have failed them from the beginning. Trump partnered with the Blue Line Moving Company to transport 14,000 bottles of water to the town. The CEO of the moving company, John Rourke, stated, Joe Biden, Pete Buttigieg, stay away. The real president is here taking care of American citizens. Now, Ohio just had 1.1 million gallons of poison-contaminated water removed, and they were having a water crisis. So showing up with food and water was really, really helpful. Trump walked the streets with the people, told them that they were not forgotten, and that he would do all he could to help them. Additionally, he even bought lunch at McDonald's for several people and shook hands with hundreds of people in the town. Now, I'm not saying that Biden will win or lose the 2024 election. I'm not saying that Trump will win or lose the 2024 election. But I can tell you, Trump just won the state of Ohio, and Biden just lost it. You think these people are going to forget who came to visit them during their darkest days? Ohio is a super important state to get the electoral votes from, and my prediction is Biden just lost those. Now, the stock market was mixed today. The S&P 500 and the Dow Jones were down, while the NASDAQ and the Russell 2000 focused more on technology, eked out a positive day. Gold was up, as was silver. Have you ever noticed that the Biden administration talks about race and ethnicity more than other presidents in the past? Well, today, the White House and Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen announced they will be implementing a new algorithm at the IRS to ensure that more white people and more Asian people are audited than have been in the past. So part of their equity reform agenda is to target Americans for tax audits based on the color of their skin or their ethnicity as viewed by the government. Now, I'm not making this up. You can search this for yourself. The Internal Revenue Service will be auditing people based on the color of their skin or their ethnicity. Now, let me know in the comments down below, Should the IRS and the federal government target people for tax auditing based on the color of their skin or the ethnicity box that they check? I don't think that they should. I don't want them targeting anybody. Blacks, Asians, Islanders, Hispanics, white people. It's wrong. You should audit people based on random audits and not based on the color of their skin or their ethnicity. But what do I know? You guys, I'm just a guy on YouTube. What do I know, right? All right, now, 2 major countries are ready to jump into the Russia-Ukraine war in favor of Russia and Vladimir Putin. China has now officially committed to joining forces with Russia. China's Director of Foreign Affairs, Wang Yi, has stated the People's Republic of China is ready to join forces with Russia to decisively stand up for national interests and promote mutually beneficial cooperation in all areas. It's unclear on the exact strategy China is taking. I believe that they are trying to scare off the West, so the United States, England, and Europe, from continuing to form an alliance against Russia, the decimation of Putin and Russia. However, I would take their threat seriously because it does look like China reaps a lot of benefits in gold, natural gas, oil from their partner in Russia, and they're not going to just let these people be steamrolled by NATO nations. So China says, if we have to choose, we're choosing Russia. Now, CNN News has claimed that Russia may have become much more heated towards Ukraine after Biden visited Ukraine. Their anonymous sources claim that Russia conducted an intercontinental ballistic missile test while Biden was in Ukraine. However, the fact that they're not publicly talking about it leads many analysts to believe that it probably failed. Now, we don't know, were they going to send this at Ukraine while a sitting president of the United States was visiting? Were they just doing tests like they have in the past? Or what was the main reason behind that? We don't really know, but we do know that they tried to fire off an intercontinental ballistic missile while Joe Biden was in the country of Ukraine. Lastly, the country of Belarus says their military intel shows Ukraine is starting to amass a large grouping of military men near the northern border. They don't like this. As a response to this military buildup near their border, Lukashenko says Belarus will be building up an army of 150,000 new soldiers. Lukashenko says pushing the Ukraine army towards his border is a security risk and a military threat that he does not take lightly. He won't hesitate to defend his border or call for assistance from Putin and the Russian Federation army while his own country of Belarus builds up their defense army. So now we have China ready to back Russia and Belarus feeling threatened by Ukraine and saying that they will resort to violence and a counterattack with the assistance of Russia and Putin if Ukraine continues to build an army on their southern border and the northern border of Ukraine. Belarus, as of the filming of this video, has 48,000 active duty men and women in their armed services. So they're basically about to grow their army by 300% as they feel threatened by Ukraine and also by other NATO nations. Now, does anyone else see this as the Third World War starting to ramp up? I mean, we've got a major first world country saying, we back Putin and Russia. We also have another European nation, Belarus, saying, we back Russia and Putin. So people are drawing the line. They're making threats if red lines are crossed. It's absolutely insane. I can't believe we still go to war in the 21st century. All right, now, before you go, Casey and I are giving away $10,000. 10 people will win $1,000 each. I'll make sure to leave a link down below. We're excited to give that money away. Before you go, I want to remind you that you are amazing. Make sure to check out this super important video and hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next video.